Hi, my name is Chaitanya Murti, a PhD student at the Indian Institute of Science. Today I'll be talking about our work, TVSPrune, pruning non-discriminative filters via total variation separability of intermediate representations without fine-tuning. This work was done alongside Tanay Narshana, now at Observe.ai, and Chiranjib, Bhattacharyya, professor at the Indian Institute of Science. This work was done with generous support from AMD. Structured pruning offers a simple and cost-effective way to reduce things like inference time, power consumption, and memory footprint of large models, and is thus an active area of research. However, what happens if we don't have access to the training data? The training data and loss function may be unavailable for a variety of reasons, including privacy and security concerns. This problem has been investigated in the literature, and popular solutions include using synthetic data or unstructured pruning. Structured pruning without access to the training set, however, remains an under-researched area, and most current state-of-the-art methods require training set access. This leads us to the focus of our investigation, which is the question, can we do structured pruning without access to the training data or loss function? Turns out we can. And our solution is called distributional pruning, which is pruning with access only to data distributions and not the training set or loss functions. And distributional access can come in many forms, including going out and collecting new samples independently or obtaining the moments of the data distribution. The key idea in this work is the idea of discriminative filters, which are filters with distinct class conditional output distributions. We have made the empirical observation that a variety of models possess a mix of discriminative and non-discriminative filters. This leads us to propose a hypothesis that well-trained models possess such a mix of discriminative and non-discriminative filters, and we call this the discriminative filters hypothesis. Can we validate this hypothesis with data? We perform the following experiment. We take a model and we add Gaussian noise to all the weights and then check the discriminative ability. What we observe is that as the noise variance increases and the weight distortion increases as well, the accuracy and the discriminative ability of the model drops, thereby supporting the discriminative filters hypothesis. This experiment is repeated over a variety of datasets and architectures. This also leads us to propose a new pruning strategy, which is simply to identify and prune the non-discriminative filters. And this figure, that means the blue filter, which is non-discriminative, can be pruned. So what's actually required to realize a distributional pruning algorithm in practice? And this includes our namesake TVSPrune algorithm. First, how do we identify discriminative filters? Second, it is well known that in any given model, some layers are harder to prune than others, and identifying hard to prune layers is an open problem. So can we use discriminative and non-discriminative filters to help identify these hard to prune layers? And last, how well does our distributional pruning algorithm, TVSPrune, perform in practice? To begin with, we identify discriminative filters through TV distance. Specifically, we use the minimum pairwise TV distance between class conditional filter outputs to quantify this ability. This is actually the min-TVA score, which is stated here. And since the TV distance is intractable, we use the Hellinger distance lower bound with the Gaussianity assumption to estimate this quantity. Next, how do we use discriminative filters to identify hard to prune layers? We propose the following informative heuristic, which we call the LDIF score, which captures the mix of discriminative and non-discriminative filters. Here, the LDIF score is a quadratic function of tau, which is a fraction of discriminative filters in a layer. To validate this heuristic, we check the LDIF score for each layer against the accuracy drop after randomly pruning it. What we observe is that layers with low LDIF score see high accuracy drops after random pruning, and the opposite is true for layers with high LDIF scores. And again, this experiment has been repeated over a variety of datasets and architectures. Next, how well does TVSPrune, our distributional pruning algorithm, work in practice? We observe that on VGG nets trained on Sapphire 10, we can obtain easily more than 50% sparsity with a minimum that is a less than 4% drop of accuracy without requiring any fine-tuning and outperform several near baselines. Furthermore, on ResNet models, we see that TVSPrune outperforms L1 and weight-based scores significantly with over 30% more sparsity compared to TVSPrune, and more importantly, is competitive with current state-of-the-art methods such as CHIP. The key takeaways are as follows. We can do structured pruning without access to the training set with distributional pruning. Broadly speaking, this strategy simply requires identifying and pruning non-discriminative filters. Our experiments have shown that discriminative filters are in fact very useful for generalization and can also be used to identify hard to prune layers. And lastly, our TVSPrune algorithm, which is a distributional pruning algorithm, is competitive or superior with current state-of-the-art methods. Thanks for your time. Our code is available at this GitHub link or through the QR code. And if you're interested in talking more about distributional pruning, we look forward to speaking with you in person in Kigali. Our poster number is 10682. Goodbye.